with Anthony Licata, the editorial director for the NSSF Shot Daily. You got it as you came through the front door if you're here at the show. What we want to do is give you kind of some insight as to how you can get in Shot Daily.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Fair enough, absolutely.
So, Shot Daily, how big is the publication? How many do you put out?
So we put out one for each day of the show. Depending on the show day, depends on how big the issue is, but we're averaging around 100 pages. It seems to get bigger every year, kind of like this show. There's a lot to cover. So it's a lot of work that goes into this.
You have a staff here that collects news on location.
Absolutely. So my company is called Bonnier Corporation, and we also publish Field and Stream, Outdoor Life, Shot Business, the monthly publication from the NSSF, and the dailies. So we come here as a team, the whole group. We have a lot of work here to do at the show, but everyone pitches in and works on the dailies because they're incredibly important and they're a ton of work to do. So upstairs we have a meeting suite where we gather, and right off of that we have a newsroom. You go in that newsroom, people's heads are down, they're clacking away, they're uploading photos, laying out pages. It's very much that kind of daily newsroom feel.
Sure. So I did that very thing in the aviation industry. And one of the things that people need to understand is when you come to the show, you have limited resources overall. The emphasis has to be on the big news, which is typically the big companies.
Right.
But you're looking for more content before you come to the show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It really would not be possible to build this thing from scratch every single day at the show. So we've gotten very good with working with our partners in the industry ahead of time. You know, the 3 months leading up to this, people know what they're going to be talking about at the SHOT Show. They know what products they're going to introduce. Even if they want to keep it under wraps and it's a surprise, we say, hey, we'll sign an NDA. We're not going to tell anyone, but tell us about it ahead of time so we can schedule it and we can get it in the dailies. We build a fair amount of pages beforehand because we want the freedom that when we're here, we can react to the news, to the coolest stuff, to what people said at a function last night. It's very important for us to be able to do that.
Sure. And the really important thing is for the small guy.
Yeah.
The mom and pop that isn't going to have a big news release that's going to get covered. If they just front end load, if they send you a press release or something a month or two in advance, they can actually get in. There's different size articles.
Oh, absolutely, they could get in. This is not all about the biggest companies, right? It's about the most interesting news.
Sure.
Shot Daily is really a tool for the attendees, right? You're here, you come in, you get this every day, so you can take a look. You can see what's going on, what's the news, and you can learn about some really cool stuff that might not be on your radar. So certainly for those smaller companies, if they reach out to us ahead of time and we find something, hey, that's really interesting, and I think a lot of attendees would like to know about it, we'll get it in there because that's a service to our readers and it will help those companies out. And it's certainly easier to do ahead of time. It's, one thing we have at the show is people find out where our press room is and all day long people are there knocking. Hey, can you cover this thing? Well, maybe, maybe not, depends how newsworthy it is, but it's a lot easier to have that conversation ahead of time than as we're putting this issue to bed for the next day.
And I think the other aspect of that is small mom and pop operation, they're kind of afraid of it because they go, well, I've never written anything like that. If they've got an interesting thing, you're interested.
Yeah, we're interested.
You'll
an interesting product, an interesting trend is interesting. I don't care if you're a big company or a small company. It really is. It all goes back to producing this daily publication that the people attending this show find interesting and useful, and that could help them spend their time here a little bit better.
We used to call it, you have to feed the beast.
Yes, this is a hungry beast. There's a lot to feed.
So any words of wisdom in parting? What would you say to people?
What I would say is, in my time here at the SHOT Show over the years, I've been coming to quite a few now. I think we could all see how big and complicated and how many people are here, how much stuff there is to cover. It's really impossible. And so when people are coming, I know I have a plan. I know what I want to see, I know what I want to do. And I think that's really important for all attendees. And that's where we can help out. You have your plan, you check out what the news is, and maybe you find something that you would have missed, and you're not going to miss it because of us.
How do they get a hold of you?
I'm sorry?
How do they get a hold of you?
So the best way to get a hold of us is contact Slayton White, who's the editor-in-chief, at the address slaytonwhite@boniercorp.com. Look, if you just go online and Google Shop Business, Shop Daily, you'll find our contact information. Give us a call, send us an email, again, ahead of time, and that'll go a long way to helping us help those people get their news out.
So even if you're a small mom and pop company, you can get in this publication at this show. For SHOT Show TV, I'm David Lomardo.